Hey friend, do you want to offer meaningful learning solutions that create behavior change, fit in the flow of work, and yield real results for your nonprofit? If yes, this is the podcast for you. Join me as I explore instructional design and leadership development best practices, as well as change management, belonging, and influence. If we haven't met yet, I'm Heather, and I've been in your shoes. I'm a learning and development consultant and founder of Skill Masters Market. Before starting my business, I led learning and leadership development initiatives for a large national nonprofit. I know what it's like to need to develop your staff quickly and effectively and to build the relationships and cut through the organizational layers to be successful. And I'm bringing all of that to you in this podcast. So block your calendar, turn off your Teams or Slack chat, and let's dive in. It's learning for good.
First impressions matter. In fact, 2 Princeton psychologists did a study and found that most people form a first impression of another person in just a 1/10 of a second. And after that point, no matter how much more time they spent together, their impressions did not significantly change. You really don't get a second chance. So what is your nonprofit's first impression? When you hire a new staff person, what do they think or feel? It's worth asking the question. And it's worth investing in making that first impression a good one. The past several years have been filled with staff changes. There have been layoffs and new hires and burnout and restructures and more staff transitions. And those staff changes make a big impact on your nonprofit or association. So today, I want to share 3 practical ways you can improve your nonprofit's onboarding process and create a great first impression. Let's dive in. It's learning for good. Onboarding your staff helps set them up for success. It gives them the knowledge, the resources, and the support they need to do their work and engage with others in the organization. Onboarding well can help them become more productive more quickly, and what nonprofit doesn't want that, right? Plus, it's the new hire's first impression of working inside your nonprofit. So what do we do? How do we create this great experience for new hires? I want to talk through 3 ways we can create a great first experience. First, make them feel like part of the team even before day 1. How do we do that? We can send them some swag, include a personal handwritten note from their supervisor. That will stand out. Share a little bit about their teammates so they know who they'll be working with when they start on the first day. Relationships are so important. So helping them feel like they are connected to their new team is a must. What could this look like? I'm envisioning a welcome package with maybe a notebook, a pen, a cup, right? Those things that you might already be doing that have your nonprofit's logo. But also include a directory of sorts of their new team that includes faces, bios, a fun fact, maybe even like an ask me about type prompt, and include something that team member would be really excited to share, or something that team member has a lot of expertise in. It could be fun. It could be professional. Ask me about my toy dinosaur collection. Ask me about our history with fundraising. And then add that handwritten note from the supervisor and mail all of it to the new hire before they start. Make them feel like they're part of the team. Now, the second thing, clarity is key. Let them know what to expect. How do we do this? Provide an agenda and a checklist for their first few days or even weeks. You're likely going to want them to meet people as they enter the organization. You might want them to do some independent research about the organization or their work specifically. So for example, a new hire in L&D might need to review some existing courses in your training library so they can see what you offer, how those courses have been designed and delivered in the past, and the quality of work that you expect. And the same would be true in other areas of your organization. There might be things that they need to review as they're getting up to date and ready to start contributing. So what could this look like? Now, maybe day one kicks off at 9 a.m. with a meeting with their supervisor. And then maybe an hour or so later, they're going to go and do some independent research. They're going to look at the organization's strategic plan, their goals, their direction. This is all documented for them. From 11 to 1, maybe there's an extended lunch with the team. They're getting some initial social introductions. Maybe there's a short break after lunch. And then from 1:30 to 2, they're going to go discuss what they learned from their review of the strategic plan with their supervisor. In the afternoon, maybe they can meet some of the senior leaders in the organization. And then maybe at the end of the day, they're reflecting on their day and they're journaling in that new notebook that you sent them. Now, I didn't include a full day here because this is a lot of new information and a lot of new people, and it's important to remember that. But you might also have additional things that need to happen, like HR paperwork or IT setup. And so you want to include that in your day, but you don't want that to be the first impression. And this gives you a sense of how the day could go while still leaving room for those things. Now, the third tip, set them up for success. How do we do that? As they settle in, they will have additional questions. There will be things that come up they don't think to ask in that first meeting with their supervisor. So make sure their supervisor schedules regular one-on-one check-ins with them so that over time, they have a good relationship, they know the expectations, and they have opportunities to ask questions. But also assign a buddy in the organization to help them navigate this transition into this new workplace. And then make sure their actual work is introduced gradually. You want to start with projects that will feel like quick wins, something that'll help them feel successful early and then go from there. That's going to help them be productive and a contributing member of the team, but you're starting small and you're starting in kind of a safe place and in a way that feels quick and helps them be ready to implement that larger project when it's time. Onboarding is important, and it's something that each organization does a little bit differently. Are you curious what other nonprofits or associations are doing? That's what the nonprofit L&D Collective is for. It's a private community and a powerful network of L&D pros from across the sector, and we tackle topics just like this one each week, so you get an inside look at what other organizations are doing. Grab the link to the group in the show notes, and I'll see you there. Until next time on Learning for Good.
Hey friend, was this episode helpful for you? Did you like what you heard? Do you want more content like this? Here are 3 things you can do. Hit subscribe, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice, share this episode with a colleague. This means so much to me personally. I read every review, but it also helps me learn what content you like most so I can create more of what you want. All right, turn that Teams or Slack chat back on when you're ready, and I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.